What's up? Dr. Swole here, MD bodybuilder, back with another video in my Ask the Expert series. This is part 2 of my interview with Melanie Muthenthaler. She's an Austrian bikini athlete who recently lost 25 pounds for her first bikini prep and placed second in her second show. Mel is also a science-based bodybuilding coach, and I really like the way she thinks and implements her diet and training. She's vegetarian and 100% natural. So in this video, I'll be talking to her about her favorite dieting strategies for helping her to lose weight during prep.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about your diet. What were you eating?
So my meals were not fancy or anything, like mostly because I just don't like cooking. So I kept it as simple as possible. And also I just didn't really, I tried not thinking about food too much, so I kept it as simple as possible. So I wanted to keep my food focus really low. So even though I did if it fits your macros, or I kind of did because I tracked my macros, so I guess it's if it fits your macros, I still just, my meals basically consisted of some type of vegetable with egg whites, and that was like my whole meal with salt and pepper and like herbs and everything, but that was it. And for my desserts or sweet stuff, I would always have oats and like that kind of yogurt thing that I once told you about that you guys don't have over there in Canada, which is kind of like yogurt, but not really. Like, oh, if there's some German, or if there are German people listening or watching this right now, it's Quark or Topfen, which we have in Austria. So that was my main thing. And yeah, just with some fruit and veggies and all that stuff. So that was basically all I ate, because I mean, I didn't really have any carb sources except for oats and fruit. And if you want to count vegetables as a carb source, yeah, okay, vegetables. But that was about it, just because all the dairy that I had took away so much from my carbs that I couldn't really have any rice or anything. So, but I had to keep my protein high, so that was that.
Mm-hmm. What were your favorite sort of low-calorie foods or meals?
My favorite low-calorie meals, I guess that was my breakfast every single day, because I basically just took some whey protein and put some baking powder in there and
Your
put it in
microwave cake.
my microwave cake. Yeah, I had that.
Mel's famous microwave cake.
Yeah. It's a recipe in my Instagram highlights. Check it out.
Okay, nice.
Shameless
Yeah, I
plug.
was just gonna ask you about it.
So yeah, it's there. But it was really just whey protein and baking powder. And it wasn't a lot, but it was so good. And I kept looking forward to it every single day. I just loved that. And because I like to have my meals, or my biggest meal, after my workout, because I don't know, I just liked having that. And I always worked out in the morning, so my lunch was my biggest meal. So after my lunch, my dinner was pretty small. And when I finished dinner, I was already looking forward to breakfast, just because I knew I was going to have my microwave cake again. So good. But yeah. You start appreciating food so much more when you're dieting. It's just, you look forward to every single meal that you're having. So yeah.
I call it the protein bar test. So by the way, I was looking at your blog and I saw a picture with the President's Choice protein bars on it.
Really? You did?
Yeah. I'm like, yo.
I missed those. They were so cheap and so good. We don't have them over here. They were so good.
Well, they're like half the price of Quest bars.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, like I call it the protein bar test for me. So I always eat those protein bars like year round. So in the off season, I hate them. And I'm like, it's like the worst part of my day. And they're so bland. But during conscious season, like right now, like it's like heaven. It's like candy bar.
Right. Everything just tastes so much better when you're on prep. It doesn't really matter what you're eating. It's just everything tastes good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I wanted to ask about sort of meal hacks for people. I think one thing that I definitely learned from you was the best thing to order at Starbucks on a hot day.
Oh yeah.
If you want to tell the viewers what that is.
Are you talking about iced decaf?
Yeah.
The best thing ever. So basically, what I would always have was just in the summer it would be iced decaf, and in the winter it would always obviously just be decaf. But the thing is, with decaf coffee, you still have your caffeine intake, like it doesn't increase from that, but coffee is like it's like you're having another meal for free, kind of. So
Exactly.
just the best thing ever because you can put sweetener and everything in there or some kind of flavor drops or whatever you want, and it tastes amazing. It fills you up, but it doesn't like increase your caffeine intake. So it's just the best thing ever. I keep drinking it like I just had my decaf. So
Yeah.
even though I'm
But
not.
anyways, the one that I learned specifically is when you get iced decaf with 2 shots of sugar-free vanilla, and then you add Splenda, and it's amazing.
It is amazing, right?
Yeah.
The sugar-free vanilla is great. We don't have it over here. I miss it.
Oh, brutal.
Mm.
But yeah, like what other sort of like 0-calorie hacks do you have? I know you drink a lot of Diet Pop.
Yeah, I drink a lot of Diet Pop. And yeah, it's decaf, it's Diet Pop, and well, obviously just normal coffee, just because caffeine still decreases your hunger and it keeps you alive. Like during prep, I feel like caffeine is the most important supplement that you could have, or like the most important, yeah, that's called a supplement. But because I honestly, I had one day where I was having stomach issues, so I couldn't have coffee, and I was like, that was the worst day in my entire prep. It was just I had headache. I was just moody. I couldn't, like, I didn't even want to move, and I still had like 10,000 steps to make. So that was the worst thing ever. So coffee is a big one.
How much caffeine would you be taking daily by the end?
By the end, it wasn't even that bad, just because I had to taper it down a bit because of my stomach issues. So it wasn't even that bad, but I think the highest I was somewhere between, I would say, around 500 milligrams per day, which is a lot for my body weight. So
You're
that
caffeine
I
fiend.
think now it's about 150 to 200, which is like one can of Monster. So it's not too bad. Oh, I started drinking it again every single day. Yes, but yeah.
She's sponsored by Monster, if anyone's wondering.
Yeah, it hasn't. I'm still waiting for my sponsorship.
um, yeah, and then okay, any other like super low cal tricks?
So, well, obviously Walden Farms, right?
Do
Like
you
all
guys
the,
have that there?
well, we don't, not, there are no shops selling them, but we can order them, right? So I would just order them on Amazon. Or a friend of mine actually bought the 0-calorie like jam, like the strawberry jam, and she didn't like it, so she gave it to me. And for me, it was heaven. So I put that on my microwave cake, and it didn't add any calories, but it was amazing. I love that.
What
I
are
was
your favorite Walden Farms items?
I don't really have a favorite because I haven't tried many different ones, to be honest. But if I go back to my times in Canada, it would 100% be the caramel syrup. I love
They're
the
nice. I
caramel
got that.
syrup. You got it? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah. I have
No.
it. I just haven't used it yet.
Yeah, you should. It's on the microwave cake. Best thing ever. But yeah, then I like my sweetener intake would be pretty high as well. Like I would go nuts on sweetener. And most people cut out sweetener at the end of their prep, right? Like in their peak week. I didn't. I did not do it. So I didn't see a point, and it was just more enjoyable for me. So the only thing I did cut out at the end was diet soda, just because obviously it got like I felt bloated after drinking diet soda because of the, how's it called?
Carbonation.
Carbonation. Yeah. So that's why I cut it out, because I didn't want to be bloated in my peak week. But that was the whole reason. There was like I didn't really care too much about my sweeteners. So yeah. And then it's just like the obvious things like volume foods, eat your veggies, and you know the drill.
The other thing you had mentioned once is that potatoes really fill you up.
Oh yeah, I did not eat potatoes during my entire prep.
Okay.
Just because as I said, I had to keep my like normal carb sources as low as possible, because I wanted to keep my carbs for fruit and oats, and the rest of my carbs were filled up by dairy. So
So you felt that oats were the most filling thing for you?
yeah, from carb sources, yeah. But what I did actually, I got a recipe from a friend of mine. So shout out to Jennifer if you're listening to that. She puts like the, I think for you guys it's Jello. So like the pudding powder thing.
Oh, okay.
She would put some of that in her oats. So that would be like a volume hack. So for I would use like 20 grams of that, which is basically 20 grams of starch. So 20, like not 20 grams of carbs, but like comparable, and 20 grams of oats, so 40 grams of that in total, with like 400 milliliters of water for 20 grams of oats, basically. So that's like a huge volume hack. And I would have this huge bowl, and I loved that. I ate that every single day as well, just because it would fill me up. And then like put some fruit on top, and yeah.
That's all for now, guys. Hope you liked this part of the interview. I'll link Mel's Instagram in the show notes below. Make sure you like the video if you found it useful, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. See you next time.